The date is October 1st, 2020. And we have 12 days before we move.
Jesus said to them, "Very truly I tell you, it is not Moses who has given you the bread from heaven, but it is my Father who gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is the bread that comes down from heaven and gives life to the world." "Sir," they said, "always give us this bread." Then Jesus declared, "I am the bread of life.
We, as in Gabrielle and I, and we're moving to North Carolina, which was official, I guess you could say, when we applied for an apartment. We applied for the apartment August 28th, I want to say, not too sure about that. We applied that night, and we had to submit application fee and security deposit, I believe it was. Both of those things were $450 total. So we spent $450 that night to apply for the apartment that we wanted. The stipulation with that money that we sent was we would be only getting half back if we got the apartment or if we didn't, because it was an application fee and a security deposit. So if we didn't get the apartment, then we would be getting back the security deposit, and if we got the apartment, we would have just been paying for the application fee. If we got the apartment, we would just have been paying for the application fee. The security deposit would have been a security deposit. So we were like, either way, we're losing $225. We were like, hey, faith, right? Faith. You gotta move on faith. Sometimes faith involves risk. Most of the time, faith involves risk. So we were just like, hey. The next day, Gabrielle got a call that we got the apartment. The fact that it was even the next day that we got that call was just like, wow, this is confirmation that we should go there. I mean, we didn't really need any more confirmation, but that was just like, hey, okay, you're moving within a certain time frame because you have the apartment now, you paid for it. So that was a blessing, and that was a testimony, from our faith. Another thing was, because we thought that we would only be getting back at least half of the amount back, and we would be having to pay half the amount, so at least $225. That was just I don't know if to say incorrect or they put the $450 that we spent, and they put it toward our rent. So we spent $450, we didn't get any back, but we didn't pay for that application fee or the security deposit individually. All the money that we spent for the application and the whole process of sending it out and the security deposit, whatever, all of that money went to our first month's rent. So that was deducted. And we move in on October 13th. So that was a blessing, because we had thought that we were going to lose money either way. Or not necessarily lose if we got the apartment and security deposit, but either way, we're spending money to do this. And we did spend money, but it's going toward money that we would have already spent or already have been spending on the first month's rent. And it just $450 taken off your first month's rent, even though we did pay it, it was still like a blessing. So that was just faith moved. We moved by faith, and then God met us in our stead. The next thing, or what is currently the next thing, is jobs. because we're moving down there. Gabby, she's able to transfer her job from Starbucks. She had always planned to do that. It's a little weird because she's gonna get paid less because of North Carolina wages, New York wages. But she also has to get demoted before she gets promoted again because there's too many of her position at the job down there. The store that she's moving to, there's too many people that have her position, so they have to wait until people are moving out to finally give her the position that she has now. So she's getting paid less. So for me, I could transfer my job, but I don't want to. I'm moving by faith. I'm living by faith. The whole reason why we got the apartment, the whole reason why we're moving is a step by faith. Keeping consistent with that, I applied for a job at Elevation Church. One of the main reasons why North Carolina was the place we moved to, the neighborhood that we moved to, was to be able to attend this church. I applied for a job there as a videographer. I want to say August. I think it was August. It's October. I haven't heard from them. Haven't heard from them yet. And we're moving in less than 2 weeks, a week and some change. And I haven't heard from them, so I don't have it. I technically don't have a job, because I don't want to say I don't have a job, because I know that I have that job. Faith, you have to be bold in your faith, and this is like what I have to tell myself every day. Before I even, like, sometimes my faith will be low, like, damn, I literally asked Gabrielle, I think it was yesterday, am I being irresponsible, or am I just having faith? Because I'm moving to a different state, and I could have finished my application and selected a shift for Amazon, and I could have just asked my boss to transfer the job that I have now down there, so at least I would have a job. But that's a safety net. And I can still do those things, but that's a safety net. And if I'm really believing God, and if I really believe God moves when you have faith on him, and if I really want to have faith the size of a mustard seed, and even though I feel like this is not faith the size of a mustard seed, to wait a month and some change to hear back from a job in a different state that I'm moving to, where I'm gonna have to be paying rent, paying the car, paying insurance, paying phone, paying Wi-Fi, paying utilities. I'm gonna have all these responsibilities with no job. It seems irresponsible on the surface, and I don't think anyone would advise you to not do this if their philosophy, if they didn't believe in the God that I believe in, they would not advise you to do something irresponsible, stupid, careless, whatever word you want to put in there, whatever synonym you want to put in there. But faith is supposed to be defying logic. It's supposed to be the thing that says, you know what, I'm not in control of this anymore. I'm giving him my control to God. I'm surrendering, yielding to him, to what the direction and purpose that he has for my life. And it's bizarre, even when I think about it, the fact that I'm still stepping on the path that God has paved for me. And today I was praying, just listening to God, really. And he put this in my mind. He airdropped it to me. You can either walk the path that I've paved for you, the path of uncertainty, the path that you don't know as of yet, or you can pave your own path of certainty. Paving my own path would mean that I am taking the actions that I can take, and I can be in control of the process of me having a job right now, transferring my job, finishing or selecting my shift from Amazon, because I did finish the application, or I started working toward the application when I first applied for Elevation. And I snapped out of it. I'm like, nah, I gotta walk by faith. I gotta do this by faith. Before that, I basically finished my application. I spoke to my boss, my manager, about if he could transfer me or not. That's why I know that he can. And he can not only just transfer me, he offered to give me a promotion or put the recommendation in for my promotion if I do decide to transfer, so I would be getting paid more. So those things are just too easy, and that's me paving that path for myself versus the path that God has paved for me. And when he put it like that to me, I was just like, but why would I don't trust myself. I don't have faith in myself. I don't have the power to really control anything. So why don't I just yield this control, really give my faith to God? And this is my current walk. So I haven't heard back from Elevation yet. This is not a Elevation, I got the job testimony. It's not that yet. This is just my process, my journey of being so close to moving into the promised land without, the one thing that I'm really the one thing that you need to survive in the world is a job and having a source of income. Moving to the promised land without that necessary resource is faith. And my faith has always been large to everyone else, and now it's becoming so much larger to me that I can't believe this is my reality.